This guy was falsely accused of molesting his own kids by his wife, which then caused this meth-headed vigilante and his gang to kidnap, torture, and kill him. Here's what happened. All right, so this is Bradley Lyons. He's a father of 8, and this is his meth-addicted wife. And for whatever reason, in December of 2018, she decided to stir up a lie amongst her other meth friends who were in an anti-pedophile Australian freedom fighters gang. And she said that her husband had impregnated her 14-year-old, and her 16-year-old daughter, the child of that, was his child. Well, this enraged that gang because now she's basically saying that her husband is a pedophile. This was later found in court to be a complete lie that she just made up. But too little too late, she had already told the leader of the gang, Mr. Albert Thorne, pictured here. Alright, so anyways, Thorne and his gang members, a handful of them, go over to the house where Bradley's at. And the wife gives the nod, okay, to go inside the house and get the confession from her husband. At which point the guys go in there and they start beating the hell out of the guy. He doesn't confess, so they take him and put him in the trunk of their car. This is actually security footage of the entire incident caught from somebody's Ring camera. Now, this is where the whole web of things gets kind of crazy, but between all the people that were addicted to meth telling their stories, this is kind of how it all goes. They bring him back to this farm, at which point they leave him in the trunk of the car for 21 hours in the heat. He eventually just says, hey, either kill me or let me out of here. What are you doing? So it's at that point that they take him back to where this little red circle is back there. That's a little shed, and they strap him down to a massage table, and they start torturing the guy, beating him with a metal pole. He had tattoos of his daughter's names on there, the two that were supposedly impregnated by him, and they used a chainsaw to cut that off of him. They cut one of his hands off. They put it by his head to scare him. At which point he bragged to other people about how once he did that, the guy started peeing himself. They took lighters and they put it in between his knuckles and burnt and melted his skin in between his fingers. And through all of that, he never confessed to doing that to his own daughters. So the guy, Albert, Mr. Thorne, so to speak, puts a shotgun into his mouth and makes him confess. Says he's going to kill him if he doesn't, and he still does not confess. So they wrap him up in a bunch of towels and they drive him out to the woods. Now they're in this wooded area, still trying to get a confession out of him. He still refuses to confess, at which point he's shot in the leg. They dig a grave for him, and while he's down on his knees, they shoot him in the back of the head, throw him in the grave, and that's the end of that story for him, unfortunately. And Methy's gonna meth, so the sloppiness of this entire ordeal was so crazy. They actually ended up having a celebration party for doing this crime after they had done it, where his wife attended the party and their kids attended the guy's own kids attended the party. Now the kids didn't know that's what the party was about, but the wife. In the end, Albert Thorne was sentenced to life in prison. His accomplices in this gang were sentenced to between 8 and 10 years, depending on their involvement. And his wife was sentenced to 7.5 years, of which she would be eligible for parole after 4.